Good morning. I'm Monique Ruff and I'm your moon mama. How are y'all doing today? Today is Monday. Monday is the day that governs the moon, or the moon governs on Monday. And today the moon is in Cancer. So we have an alignment today. When the moon is in Cancer and it's a Monday, it means we have extra energy for that sort of constellation. And what does that constellation focus on? That constellation of Cancer focuses on mothering, nurture, um, security, the crab, right? The crab secures itself, makes sure that all of its needs are met, that it fulfills itself within that shell. So that is the energy of Cancer, like really nurturing ourselves, giving ourselves what we need today. And also mothering. Maybe you're mothering your children, maybe you're mothering other people, maybe you're a mother at work. I remember when I worked in an office, there was I had a friend who worked there. Her name was Marcia Anderson, and she was like a fairy mother to everyone. And whenever there was anything going on in the office that felt like made me feel insecure or sad in any kind of way, I go sit in her office and be with her because she was like the mother of the office. So these roles, we take them on in many areas of our lives. We have everything in us, and it's really important. That's why I share the moon work, because I want to help us identify in a full scope of who we are, that we're not just our sun signs, and maybe if you're a mother, you're not just a mother, you're also a friend, you're also a lover, you also are a teacher in some way, you also are a student in some way. We're forever taking on these various roles, and that's the power of the moon, that it has all of these faces. It's not just one thing, and neither are we. And the thing that's important to understand about our universe is that it's never the same. And so one of the things that I have spent a lot of time in my life studying is history, because I've wanted to understand. I've wanted to get clear about, like, how did we get here? For me as a black person, I just was like, what the fuck am I doing in this country with these people who are out to get us? Like, that was my real draw to history. What is going on with black people that we are being subject to such harsh brutality, such cruelty has been a part of our history and our experience. And so that has really interested me and why I've studied history. But the thing that I really am aware of as I study astrology is that, history has really no place in our current moment, because astrology is forever changing. It never repeats itself. As long as the sun and the moon and the planets have existed, they never are in the same place. Why? Because we're always moving. Like, we're moving right now, we're on planet Earth, and we are moving so fast and spinning on an axis right now at this very moment. And you can't feel it. So we're never going to be here again. Like, we're going to be on Earth, but where Earth is in the galaxy right now, we will never be here again. And so everything moves together, and we might have some of the same geometrical, mathematical equations in our placements, but they aren't ever going to be in the same place. So we are forever changing. And that is the point of astrology, for us to understand that it's always a shift, always change happening. And when we don't grow and change and transform, say for instance like our government, that doesn't really, yeah, they do amendments, and we, people change in and out, but our system hasn't really changed. And so the energy is now beginning to back up in our government. It's been happening for a while. It's not just happening recently. It's actually quickening now. So our government is buckling under the pressure of its disobedience, of not being changed, of not changing and transforming with the minds and the times of the people. Why? Because of greed, racism, sexism, privilege. It's just ridiculous, but it's going to shift because it has to, because that's just the nature of energy. If it's not changing, if it's not moving forward, you will begin to atrophy and collapse and break down. And that is what's happening in our government right now. And so, as we are in this day of the moon, it's really important to give yourself the opportunity to change your mind. Some of us are very conventional, and there's nothing wrong with conventionality, right? There's nothing wrong with doing things the same way, but it's also the opportunity to ask, even though I'm doing something I've always done, remembering and knowing that just because you're taking an action that you've always taken, it doesn't mean that you're the same person. You are a different person. You are not the same person that you were yesterday. And when you allow your mind to think in that way, to be transformed, to be different, you open up to new possibilities for yourself in ways that are joyful, in ways that are enlightening, in ways that are inspiring. And so many of us are depressed because we are holding on to old thoughts and ways of being because they don't work, right? And so we're trying to make something work that doesn't suit us, and so then we get depressed, and the depression then holds us down to force us to find something different. And in this Western culture, what happens is we make the depression wrong. So then we have to go get medication because we can't handle it, or we're so sad or whatever. But if we would just start changing our perspective first and foremost, and I know that might be easy for me to say, but that's the reality. If we would change our perspective, if we would spend time in nature, like nature is never the same. I have a tree out in front of my house. I've lived in this apartment for almost 10 years, and this tree has been here. And every year, the leaves are completely different on this tree. The tree doesn't move. The tree does not move, but the leaves move and the birds move, and it becomes a completely new tree because the cell structure of that tree completely changes. This is also true for our bodies. Our cells, we have a core group of cells that never change, that keep us at the core of who we are, but everything else is completely different. So it's important for us to understand this and take this on for ourselves so that we can renew our minds. Be thee transformed by the renewing of your mind. Literally, our thoughts need to change, our ways of being, the way we breathe, everything. I've been doing a practice where I've been breathing deeper, regulating my nervous system through my breath patterns. And this is the aspect of being a multidimensional being. Wherever your sun sign is, you might say, oh, I'm a Virgo, or I'm a Cancer, or I'm a this, but you are all of these things. You are not just one aspect of it. You are all of it. You have Cancer in you, you have Virgo in you, you have everything inside of you. And so you can access everything when you know it, when you open up to the full possibilities of it. So we are moving into the new moon. It's going to be in Leo on Wednesday. And so that energy is asking us to step more fully into our creative self-expression, who we are, the role that we play, right? Leo is the archetype of the performer, the king, the queen, right? And leadership. And how is leadership showing up in your life? How are you allowing yourself to be true to that shine that is inside of you? Shine and shine and shine and shine it, right? Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, the shine, right? Like literally allowing yourself to be true to your shine. So many times we quiet ourselves or smother our own voices because we are we don't feel like that what we have to say is valuable, or we don't think highly of ourselves. But your shine matters. Everything about you matters. Everything about you is necessary. Everything you do is valuable. So just understand that from the core of yourself and be true to who you are. What's your shine? So I am Monique Ruffin. If you'd like to get a new moon reading to see how Leo is showing up in your chart this new moon for you, or Aquarius, accessing more freedom in your life. Freedom comes through discipline. That's the thing that we have to understand, that freedom comes through discipline. We can have more freedom. The more disciplined we are, the more freedom we can access. So I am Monique Ruffin. I am your moon mama. I love you all so much. Thank you all so much for the comments, and those of you who have been reaching out talking about how much these posts mean to you, how I'm helping. Thank you. That means so much. Use this energy today to nurture and care for yourself in a deep way. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.